Good morning, gentlemen. The wonderful weather, but I'm not in a stable where there are horses. I've only got a mural at the back. Horses are running. I'm going to talk on something now which I used to read in my childhood. I remember I'd read the myths of the Norse myths, about the god Odin and Loki, Balder the Beautiful, so many people, Juno the Queen. And at one stage, the god Loki had made a statement. He said, "Those whom the gods wish to destroy, they make them mad." Now, sometimes I wonder about the Ukraine war. What is happening? Has the Western powers and the Americans lost their senses? I was under the impression for a long time that they didn't want to escalate the conflict, but it appears that's not what's happening. There's escalation at every stage, and that's very dangerous. I don't know if the god Loki, what he said is going into the brains of the Americans and the Germans. Now the reports which I'm getting is that the Germans are going in for their Leopard tanks and they're going to give them to Ukraine. Americans are going to give their Abraham tanks to Ukraine. These are good weapons, but they're not invincible, and they are only successful if they have proper air cover. Now that's the point. And we should bear in mind that the old days of the big battles between the Wehrmacht and the Red Army, which battles were fought, the big tank battles of the Second World War are over when the Wehrmacht fought with the Red Army. At the moment, I understand about 80 tanks are to be given by Nato countries in Europe to Ukraine, and they are not ready to give it till the Americans committed to give the Abraham tanks. And finally, Biden decided that he'll give 30 tanks to Ukraine. So they're going to get about 115 tanks from NATO and the USA to counter the Russian offensive. The Russian offensive is on. It's in a big way, and they are on their way to take one of the most significant cities in the West, which they had given up earlier. One of the cities already the Ukrainians have accepted has been taken over by the Russian, and the Russian offensive is going on. And I'll remind you what the American general has just said. He said it's not going to be easy to throw the Russians out of the area they have occupied in Ukraine. Now that's a military assessment. It's not an emotional assessment. But despite that, giving of these tanks is a very dangerous precedent. Not only precedent, it's a dangerous matchstick to light will ignite a cold war, a much severe war, a nuclear war. Now when we come to all these things, my main problem is how come the Americans and the Germans and the NATOs are not able to see the writing on the wall? The Ukrainians, if you look at it, have lost the war. They are only being sustained by the Western powers to fight on, and by the doggedness of Zelensky. He doesn't mind that his country is destroyed. He's really not bothered. If you're bothered, he'd go in for a negotiated settlement and have settled the issue a long time back. He's not interested. Ukraine is devastated. Fair enough. He's okay with him. And the Western powers, they're not concerned. It's the people who are suffering are the Ukrainian people. 8 million refugees in Europe, their power structure destroyed, their granary finished, they are facing shortage of food, shortage of electricity, darkness, roads, everything. They're fighting on only because they're getting the weapons from the West, the Americans. And now these tanks will come and will get a lease of life, but they're not going to win the war. Now these 120 tanks, whatever they come, 150, they get no relevance, frankly. They're not going to help them win the war. And as I told you, these tanks have got no cover. They're very good tanks, good weapons. But every weapon system has to have ancillary support. And now, as I told you, the old days of the battle are over. It's going to be a different battle altogether, and that's going to create a lot of problem for the West. The skies over Ukraine are controlled by the Russians. And what's going to stop the Russian missiles and rockets from going and hitting these tanks? And even if they fire 10 missiles and 6 are shot down or 7 are shot down and 2 or 3 hit the tanks, they'll be out of action. And it'll have a demoralizing effect. So mark my words, gentlemen, the Russians are not worried about these tanks coming in. Because tanks alone do not win a war. You need something more than that. But the dangerous thing is that the war has been escalated. And we are moving step by step forward to the inevitable, what has been forecast in the Bible, the Armageddon. I hope it doesn't happen. The last war, the Third World War, and the destruction of Western civilization. Let's all pray that doesn't happen, and the gods give sense to Mr. Biden, Zelensky, and the German Chancellor. I do not know what's going to happen in the future. What is ordained is written is written. You can change it. That's what the great Brigu, the foremost exponent of predictive astrology in the world, said. Gentlemen, I close now. The war at an interesting stage. Russians advancing forward. Ukraine is destroyed. The West has given them tanks. They'll take some time to reach there. But they are not going to turn the tide of the battle. And what's going to happen now, I personally feel, is very bad. All the same, I wish all of you will subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and like it. And I wish you goodbye, and Jai Hind. God bless to all of you.